Alright, heading into Cosmoworld right now. Not really looking forward to this because all the coasters look pretty mediocre. Heading into the Ferris wheel is my first ride. It's a 15-minute ride. It's the load area for the Ferris wheel. Cosmo Clock 21. Alright, on the Ferris wheel right now, and there's air conditioning. That's what it looks like underneath. So they have this little thing here, tells you random things. It's Mount Fuji. Oh, I can turn. What's new? It's not in English. Oh, nearby history. AC, and what stinks is that the spinning mouse coaster is closed today. Here's the log flume. So the park is separated in two halves. One half is on that side of the river, and one half is the bigger rides in this half. See better view of the other side of the park. Mostly kiddie rides over there. And there's Vanishing Dive Coaster there. You can see our cruise ship all the way down there. The Princess. The Diamond Princess. So we just hit a quarter of the way. And I've been watching the Vanishing Dive Coaster right here, and it looks like their operations are terrible. So that's gonna be fun when I ride later today. Almost at the top. It's a little mini golf course right over there. So here's the rest of the city. Dive coaster's going. Can't really see it. And we're at the top. See the rest of Tokyo down there. There goes Dive Coaster. And we are almost done. So I'm inside, and this is really confusing. There's some games. I have no idea where to go. And there's the Wow Mouse that's closed, so I'm shy of credit here. Here's Dive Coaster line. Considering the really bad operations, this is gonna be fun. So just rode Vanishing Dive Coaster. Restraints are very padded, so there was limited head banging, or at least if there was, it was a padded head banging. So it was not bad. Pretty mediocre coaster. You get some good positive G's on the helix at the end, but that was it. Well, that's pretty cool. You can get pretty close to these gondolas here. So this is one of the game areas around the park. It's nice and air conditioned, so that's good. Want to get out of the heat. Right now it's pretty cloudy, so it feels great. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, some of these prizes are actually pretty cool. Oh, they have ping pong and soccer here. And I think that's it. So I'm outside right now, but inside here, there are gambling games. So like basically stuff you could do when you gamble. And you have to be 18 and older, apparently, to go and play. So that was the signature of diving coaster Vanish. So diving coaster Vanish has pretty bad operations. I would say about 5-minute dispatches, but they don't let people when the last train gets off, people get off. They wait until everyone gets all their stuff out of the lockers before they let anybody else in, causing more, you know, the longer delays in operation. But it's an okay coaster, nothing spectacular. I wouldn't rate it very high, but it's very photogenic. This park really reminds me of Jkwanna in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden, and just because of how like all this rides are built upon other rides, and it's pretty cool. How it's kind of like a roller coaster tycoon type of thing, you know, where it's just like the log flume going right underneath the Ferris wheel with the queues of the vanishing coaster. In the extended queue for the Ferris wheel right underneath, you know. So I don't know what this is. I see some like numbers here for scores and rankings on the log flume, and I don't know what that means, but I also see Pokemon, so I don't know. So I guess it kind of ranks your scream. I don't know. Because earlier someone got like a 200 score, and then like Pikachu started saying Pikachu. I don't know what the score means. Anyway, what's interesting about log flumes here is that after you ride, they actually wipe down the seats, which is amazing. Very convenient and nice, so you're not sitting on a wet seat. But I hear that's a common thing in Japan. I know Splash Mountain and Disneyland does it, and I didn't know they do it here too. Very cool. You see some of the midway games here. Very interesting park. So this is like a 4D cinema thing, I guess. Yeah, that drop does nothing for me on the ride. But it's really cool how they have the lighting package though. So like when a log flume comes down, the lights around the lagoon or this pond kind of light up. You see, so right here comes one. Just so you could get like, you know, pictures or whatever, which is pretty cool. I bet it's really good at night too. And same goes with the vanishing coaster as well. And you could also see some like, you know, paper games here and a little Thomas the Tank Engine thing. Well, on to the other side because I have one more coaster credit to get here. And this is more of like the kiddie section, I guess. Except for the Enterprise and whatever the thing next to it is. I can't remember the name. And they also have like I guess a polar bar as well. But it looks pretty cool because it looks pretty well themed in terms of, you know, amusement park theming. Kind of looks like a little village in there. So that's pretty cool. Really reminds me of Jkwanna, but Jkwanna is better. I do wish they made some sort of transportation to get across this river instead of just walking across this bridge. Kind of stinks. But what's cool, I do like how it is free admission. You just go in, it's pay per ride. So far, and what sucks is that they don't have an all-day pass. They don't even offer an all-day pass for this park. They're just like, you know, pay per ride, but you get discounts with like more money you buy. So like the Vanishing coaster, that costs roughly about maybe 700 yen, which is about $7. It's not really worth it, but just for the credit. The little kiddie coaster down there costs 300 yen, so about $3. But yeah. So all the total for just 2 credits, about $10, 10 yen. Sorry, $10, about 1,000 yen. So it's not bad, I guess, for a park. But for 2 things, kind of sucks. Here's a cool view of the rest of Cosmoworld, or the big ride section. And also the Ferris wheel, I forgot to mention, has 2 types of cabs, regular cabs and glass bottom cabs as well. I guess it's an upcharge, but I'm not sure how much. We did the regular cabs and it cost roughly about 800 yen, so about $8 or so, $1 or 100 yen less than the Vanishing Dive coaster. But they say it's supposedly a 15-minute ride. Didn't seem like it, seems shorter though. So yeah, I have to say that Ferris wheel is very photogenic too. So here's a ride, I don't know what it is. Oh, Mirror Maze, that's what it is. Some more stuff here. So you could go to these, they have ticket kiosks where you could keep adding money to your pass, or you just buy them individually, which is what I did. Bought them individually. So, haunted house. So apparently you have candles, and I think your candle goes out the more you jump. So like the more, I guess, the more you shake it from getting scared, you know, it gets dimmer and dimmer, apparently, I think. But that's what it seemed like. What kind of stinks is there's no gift shop here. It's just all games and stuff like that. So I kind of want to get a magnet from this place, but I don't know if I'll be able to find that, which is weird. I don't think I've ever been to a park that doesn't have a gift shop since I started collecting park magnets. So here are the rest of the park stuff. And here's the ice bar. To pay 500 yen to get in, but I don't think that includes any drinks, so that kind of stinks. Is there Enterprise? I'm gonna make a loop around. Go to the kiddie section first. So overall, it's a nice little park. So far. I don't expect, it's probably just a few hours here if you really do everything. I'm probably gonna spend like maybe an hour, like hour and a half to 2 hours here. You know, see there's a disco over there, Ferris wheels, and some of the things that you paddle to go, and the big ride section. Okay, that kind of scared me. I walked onto this little platform and I didn't realize it was floating. It started like bobbing and rocking, and I was like, whoa. But it's pretty cool. It's right in the middle, kind of on the edge to the water of the city of Yokohama. Very nice. It's a pretty convenient walk to go around, right next to the cup noodle factory, or cup noodle museum. So you can, you know, hit up that in the morning and then come here later. So here are more kiddies rides here. So the Ferris wheel reminds me of the Ferris wheel in Fun Spot over at Orlando. The Orlando Fun Spot, not the Kissimmee one. And this little thing where you pedal kind of reminds me of the ride in Carowinds with the Peanuts ride. And they have these little things where you can ride. Oh, these are cool. So apparently these are self-operated. These aren't, but that train ride is. It's at 200 yen, about $2. And you operate them yourself by putting money in it, and it just goes around. But these don't look self-operated. This is awesome.
Get in there.
I have no idea how this thing works, so I guess it just goes down and back. Very interesting. Like, look, this is all self-operated. She's off the track right now. This little tiny log flume, that's awesome. Look at this tiny log flume. This looks awesome. I'm actually more interested to figure out what's in the igloo as opposed to what's in the shed. Because I don't know what's in that igloo. Maybe it's a drop shack. Drop shack. I love the theming too. This is awesome. Look at tiny penguins. Oh, wow, okay. And it splashes out apparently. Oh, there's show scenes in there. There's like penguins and polar bears. And she's standing on the ride vehicle. That does not look safe. But it's Japan. I'm not gonna lie, this section of the park is pretty awesome. It's one of those only in Japan things. So this is interesting. So these are two separate tracks, but they cross twice. So I really wonder what happens if they hit each other. I have no idea if they're both operating and they hit each other. So here's the rest of the section over here. I like their towers, how they're basically one on top of the other. That's pretty cool. Right across from the city. Well, time to be sad and pathetic and ride a kiddie coaster. This won't be fun. But whatever. So yeah, this park basically a one and done for almost all the rides, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Okay, this is a pretty adorable coaster with the music and everything. Okay, Banana Coaster was adorable. What's interesting is that the ride ops, in order to like safety check and everything, they'll be standing on the tracks. So what they do is they kind of like, they stand in the track like as seen right now, right in between the two different cars where the cars connect. So that's how they tighten your seatbelt and basically check your restraints. The seatbelts are kind of weird. It's basically like a strap that goes in and it like clamps down. They have a little latch that clamps down on it. It's kind of hard to explain without seeing it, but it's weird. I've never seen a roller coaster like that. Pretty smooth too, so it's not bad. And here's the end with the disco, which, not worth 500 yen. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the park, at least this side. So time to start heading over to the other side now. Very photogenic park, and that's what I like about it. Other than that, go to Jkwanna. Don't really waste your time here. There are 3 coaster credits here: a spinning mouse coaster, diving coaster Vanish, and the baby banana coaster, which is pretty cool, but to be honest, it's basically a credit run and leave kind of park. But it's nice to walk around. And since I have time, that's what I'm doing. That helix it's on right now, the diving coaster, was actually pretty forceful. So that was a pretty cool part. Much more forceful than I thought. But the padding certainly helps on that coaster. Or else it would be really bad headbanging. So the padding made it mediocre instead of absolutely terrible, must be torn down. So it's almost lunchtime, so people are starting to eat food. But I'm about to board my cruise on the Princess Diamond soon, so I'll probably be eating on the cruise. So no Cosmoworld food for me. I don't know what this is. I think this is a mirror maze or something. Oh, there's this ride I saw online where you have these little things that you're holding, and I think they're like iPhones. And you kind of look around, kind of like an augmented reality kind of thing. So it looks pretty interesting. If I had to ride something, I think this would be an interesting ride to ride, because it's like a shooting ride with your, what's it called? With your, the cell phone guns or whatever. It looks pretty cool. It was a pretty interesting dark ride, so I kind of wish I rode this instead as well. But I'm about to leave soon, so. And it looks like an Omni Mover type ride as well. So for this dark ride here, I think when you get a certain score, you get to win a prize over here of a little game. So here you get a score and they give you like a coin to go and, you know, use the capsule machine to get your prize, which is actually pretty cool. You get a little prize at the end. Makes the 600 yen worth it. So this is what this is. It's another mirror maze, I guess, kind of thing. They have a lot of walkthrough attractions here. So that's one cool thing. I guess I'm gonna come into the Cosmo shop and see if I can find a magnet here or something, but I don't know what I'm gonna find. Inside here you can see the supports for the Ferris wheel going through the building, which is pretty cool. And here's their food court area, Cosmo Court. Pretty small, but I guess everyone buys food and eats outside. Looks pretty cool. Curry, chicken, hot dogs, stuff like that. Pretty standard. Some milk tea. Here's some of the food they have. They have this hot dog. So one interesting thing about Japan in general is that they have like their sizes are smaller. So like if you get like a large, that's in America about a medium, and you know they all kind of tier down from there. So like smalls here are like tiny. And it's kind of weird seeing that. There's some of those capsule ball toy things here, and some more rides out here, or walkthroughs. I don't know. So this looks like a 3D thing. I don't know what this is. So one thing this park could really use is a drop tower. It doesn't take up much space and it actually looks pretty cool in the skyline. Whoa, jeez, that is loud. Anyway, they could use a drop tower. I don't know, I guess you could put it like right in the middle, right there. Right by the midways or somewhere. Or just build it on top of something, you know. I think that'd be cool. You know, maybe they should ask Hershey Park, because they got 3 coming. Steal one of those. It's not like they really need 3, to be honest. So this is a 3D, looks like a 3D dark ride here. I do like the marquee though. Marquee looks pretty cool. And here is so these are things that you get, like tickets to ride rides or anything like that. And here's what looks like, oh, this is like a dark ride haunted house type of thing. But what's interesting is that you're in like a cage. I do really wish I had more time to ride these dark rides here. Pretty long line for the log flume, but it's pretty cool because it's like right underneath the helix. Interesting. So here's the wild mouse. Currently down. Our hotel overlooked the park and it looked like it was operating earlier, or at least testing at least. But this log flume looks pretty interesting. It looks like you come down pretty fast. Maybe get some air before the drop. Ooh, I just noticed that the line for the spinning coaster is all outdoors and directly underneath the sun. So that would suck. And there's a line for the Ferris wheel. So it looks like a pretty standard wild mouse. So one thing that kind of sucked about that coaster, Vanishing Dive, is that you don't get to choose your seat. They kind of seat you, even though you try to request, you know, back row or something. They'll be like, nope, gotta be the second row. But a minor little thing. Not that I don't think it really matters, but it seems like in the back it'd be a little bit better when you're going into the dive hole kind of thing. Well, so that's pretty much the rest of the park. It's nice, really cool how everything is built upon each other. Really reminds me of Jkwanna. A lot of people a lot of the workers don't really speak English, so you have to do a lot of like miming and, you know, acting out, I guess. But one thing I recommend, when I was buying tickets here at this stand, they had like basically a list of some of the rides and how much they were. But there were some rides that weren't there, like the kiddie coaster, the banana coaster. So what I did instead, before I came here, I went on the website when I had Wi-Fi, screenshot all the places, all the rides I wanted to ride, and like I basically had to pull up my phone and be like, point to all the rides, or mainly just the banana coaster, what I wanted to ride, you know. So I was glad I did that, or else I have no idea how I could, like, you know, tell them I want to ride the banana coaster, you know. But a pretty cool ride, park. Very photogenic, but you know, see yourself like probably spend like a few hours here at most, maybe like 4, you know. And pretty much that's Cosmoworld. Oh, and here's a list of some of the rides they have here. I kind of do wish I came here at night just to see all the lights and everything, especially to see the dive coaster too. I think the dive coaster would be pretty cool at night as well. But yeah, now goodbye. Off to go and get on my boat, my cruise ship.